What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I'm revisiting an archetype that many people probably think is dead, and I did myself for a while. That's ABC Cyber Dragon. Absolutely not. The deck is still really good. Did it take a massive hit with the banning of Union Carrier? It sure did, but it is by no means a horrible deck anymore. And I'll just start off here with basically what you can still do without access to it, right? And I also think that Konami will eventually add another Union Carrier type card, like just for machines. And if they do, then a lot of these archetypes will, do very well. Even if it locks you into machine for the rest of the turn, I also think that's fine. So I have all the pieces I need to go into all three of my boss monsters. Here's Infinity. Right there, and then you can go into a Dragoon, and the extender in my hand, Overload Fusion, can dump the rest of the ABC pieces, go into ABC Dragon Buster, and finally Predaplant Bird Anaconda will help me go into Dragoon. There we go, didn't use Union Carrier, right? And then I chained Artifact Lancia. Just because you have ABC Dragon Buster, sometimes, again, Lancia is so powerful, it stops turns. Against Orcus, it stops it. So just because you have one less disruption doesn't mean that it's not the right play and not the right card to side in. So we can just kind of go through all of these now. I'll talk about it. Sometimes it's Red Eyes Fusion Pass, and that's not great, but I would say against most casual strategies, which is what this deck is tailored towards, not your meta matchups, I'd say that's decent enough. You just have to know when to use your disruptions. So he uses Ojama Simulation. Pretty cool. Special summons a bunch of the pieces out of the deck. But this is actually a bad matchup against ABC because Dragoon has to target. So, unfortunately. And even IP Masquerade, if he goes into Unicorn, also targets. Here is a match against Crusadia. There's so many going second cards, and all the cards as well. The Kaijus are just fodder for, your Galaxy Soldier plays. So there's no true bricks technically. And if anything, everything else is just discard fodder. This isn't the greatest hand. You never want to see Union Driver in your opening, but that's completely fine. So he kind of reads this idea that I'm going to get rid of his monsters. And then my play is just started, this is just, it goes to a Link monster, so it obviously doesn't have that. All you have to do is search your core, activate, go for your Galaxy Soldier, and then, machine duplication as well. Everything that you need. My plays were just literally at the beginning. Looks like we're playing this Crusadia deck. He has the Ash, so that's, and the Solemn Judgment. We'll see what I can do with it. I get this Cyber Dragon Nashter for backup plays. In case he's going to be able to get rid of my Nova, which he probably is able to do, I will have the follow-up plays. Especially because I can just go into Predaplant or Bird Anaconda and then use Overload Fusion. You don't have to use Dragoon, of course. So there he goes. So he gets rid of it. So then I can go into Bird Anaconda and just go into Nashter, revive the Infinity, suck it up. Then I can use Bird Anaconda, pop it back row, attack for lethal. Really nice. We all know how good Cyber Dragons are going second, but I really like this build because it's equally as strong going first and second. And I also do have the Cybernetic Overflow as a search card in case you have all the pieces you need in your hand, because this is objectively a really good form of interruption. You can just destroy a bunch of cards on the field at all times. I think this is a Monster Negate. This can't be destroyed by battle, but okay, that's really not a problem in the deck at all. And then this turns everything to 0 attack points for the rest of the turn. So no true disruption outside of you. I'm going to go into Nova and Infinity after I bring this back. I'm going to negate this effect. Of course, he's going to try to negate that. And then I can just suck up the, what's this called? Brigand the Glory Dragon. Sure. And then I can use the effect of Red Eyes Fusion objectively probably was the better decision here because I didn't really realize that he had protection, which is fine. But I do have the Overflow and the Affinity. I'm going to try to do that, and I didn't realize this one protects his fusions. But at this point, I've had so much advantage. I feel pretty good because I'm going to be able to go into ABC Dragon Buster and then probably an access code Talker as well. And that can be responded to. I can pop this, which is the fusion spell / field spell. And yeah, that's definitely game. Another game against Despia. I think I get to go first this time. Looks like a really good opening hand. This basically, like, these cards obviously aren't fantastic. This was the first game, so I would, clearly side these out at some point. This can go into B, and since I haven't used Union Hanger's effect just quite yet, I can do this, and I misplay here. So basically, what should have happened here is I should have not used the effect of Sea Crush Wyvern. Why? Because I'm going to search for Cyber Repair Plant, the Galaxy Soldier. That way I would have had the Nova into Infinity, then all the pieces for ABC, and then of course you see here the Predaplant Bird Anaconda. But I make the most out of the situation, as you'll see in just a moment. I'm going to search the other Galaxy Soldier, which is perfectly fine. Then I can use this for IP Masquerena. Then I can use the effect of Predaplant Bird Anaconda to bring out the Dragoon. And I run Unicorn, so again, it's pretty much fine. I have discard fodder for all of them, which is the best part. The only thing you have to do in this deck, as far as I can tell, is just stop them from fusion summoning. So there's one. Looks like he has another version of the field spell, which is unfortunate, but okay. All of these effects are perfectly fine. There we go. Now that I can use the effect of IP Masquerena, he's going to attempt to negate, but of course I will chain Nightmare Unicorn on that and shuffle that back into the deck. He surrenders, and then at end phase, if he would have set this card, which is whatever, doesn't really matter to me, I will have banished it and then tagged them out, gone into an access code talker during that next turn because it can't be responded to, and bada bing, bada boom. Here's a couple of games against Pure Eldritch. Pretty fascinating. He has the Waking the Dragon, so luckily I didn't draw any of my Harpy's Feather Dusters or anything like that. I do have evenly matched as one of the sides against this matchup specifically. I start off with Red Eyes Fusion, which is like basically the end game, for this. I don't know if he has Zeus in here or anything. Ultimate Falcon is just a target for the Waking the Dragon. Yeah, so this is about as bad as it gets for him. The only thing I have to do, the only thing you really have to do when you play Eldritch is just stop the Golden Land from touching the field. Otherwise, it can't do anything at all. So I'm going to have the Cyber Dragon Core, which is really nice. Machine Duplication. He attempts to go into the Trenchal Tribute. I want to negate that, but he plays this card called Broken Lion, so he sets it up in the Spell and Trap. I don't really know why you would do that. Okay. Worked out in this case, but not all the time I feel like it would. I don't attack because I would rather just burn for damage at that point. And again, all that matters is you keep Eldritch off the field. He has a Disciple into Deer. Luckily, didn't draw into that. Although I probably would have negated, or maybe even not, because who cares? The Union Hanger can come down, search one of the bees. Then this can equip, because I think I have everything else in the graveyard at this point. No, I don't, just quite yet, but this is going to equip the rest of them. So I'm going to be able to go into ABC. But at that point, I just have to burn for damage. Like, anytime we use a Scarlet Sanguine, like, it's the end of the game. And it's probably the same exact situation here. Although this time he gets to go first, so I'm sure he's going to... Or no, this time I'm going first. And I don't have a great opening, but it's not the end of the world, because I do have the Overload Fusion. So when I negate anything, I'm going to be sending the Cyber Dragon Nova as part of it. Luckily for me, he's playing a back row heavy deck, because that, just helps me out. I don't want him to draw 2. I mean, that's obviously pretty good. If you guys read Pot of Greed. I'm going to be able to pop 2 of these. So he goes for the Central Tribute. I'm going to negate that, of course. Conquistador, Hakero comes down, the Scarlet Sanguine, and last he has this Trap Trick, which I don't know about just quite yet. But he gets rid of the Infinity, which I don't think is the right decision, actually, because now I have all the pieces. I'm going to be able to search a Union Driver just as discard fodder, which is pretty nice, because I don't need to use it anymore. I can send those into the Red Eyes Fusion, because I know, now that I'm playing Eldritch, alright, well, let me just win the duel. I'm going to burn both of these. And my strategy from last game, or this was actually game 1, will continue to go through. Top decks the Ice Dragon's Prison. You can set the Conquistador if you really want to. It's fine with me. He tries to get rid of it to get that 3,500 attack. I'm not going to allow that. He's going to set 2 Scarlet Sanguine, so now I know that I've essentially won the duel, because if he summons them, I'm just going to burn it. Top deck, Harpy's Feather Duster, which is decent enough. I just have to negate this. And I'm going to let the Scarlet Sanguine go through. That way there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I can just end it with burn damage. Clearly, Dragoon does a lot of work in this deck, but that's fine. Who cares? It's a win condition now. I mean, Union Carries ban. You got to do what you got to do. But you guys have already seen the impact of ABC and Infinity as well. So they do work in tandem, of course. It's a full team effort. It's just your kind of your fallback plan is Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, if they feel so inclined to stop everything else that you're doing, which they should. Machine duplication. Fortunately, I already had the Cyber Dragon in my hand, so I can't activate this twice. Who cares, I guess. The Ice Soul can go get sucked up by the Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then since I'm going second, there's like no law again that you have to use the Red Eyes Fusion card. He's going to attempt to activate Storming Mirror Force. I, of course, will use my 1 negate. This will be 3 attacks, and this will be the rest of it for game. Warrock, best deck, of course. Everyone knows that. I would love to see a Warrock Toon matchup, by the way. That sounds insane. And this is against Witchcraft. Just want to show you how easy it is to combo, and also have all these disruptions in your hand as well. So the Witchcraft Golem, I think this returns to the hand. Alright, so now I can just kind of do whatever damage I want. The Bee Buster is going to come down. So if you have Union Carrier plus a Galaxy Soldier, that's full combo. Used to be 1-card combos, now they're 2, but it's really not that big of a difference because you're always going to have other cards in your hand, at least in my experience. There goes the Nova. I already have all the pieces in the graveyard. And then I can probably go into the Overload Fusion to really end the game. And last but not least, I will show you a game against Dinos. Photon Orbital, of course, is not in the deck anymore. It's like one of the cards that you have to cut on top of Union Carrier because there's no way to equip it as of right now. But here we go. I was just telling you about this last duel, right? As long as you have the Galaxy Soldier, you have full combo. And there's tons of ways to search that. Union Hanger, I was thinking for a second, like, oh, is it really useful anymore? Absolutely. It's super important. And I can attack here, suck this up. That way, all my columns are good in case I'm playing Mech Knights. I didn't know what I was playing at this point. I'm just going to banish the Misk, and also I have the Drolent Lockbird, which is really, really good against Dinos. And since his are unaffected, I still have the 2 negates here, or disruptions, you should say, which is really cool. So yeah, Cyber Dragon ABC, still super good. If you guys want to see an updated deck profile, I can. It's really, really similar to the last one, but just let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.